action.
Hi, Steve Luderman. My name is Carl Gibson. It's so nice to meet you.
Carl, thanks for having me.
I really like being in podcast class and like watching our video clips on YouTube. It makes me feel proud. Can you tell us something that you feel proud of?
I feel proud of my daughters. They are nice young ladies. One lives in Pittsburgh. One lives in Hamtramck here. I see her quite a bit, a couple times a week. But both of my children have good.
Mr. Luderman,
Sebastian, how are you?
I'm great.
That's great. I'm glad to be here. I'm looking forward to your questions.
Yes. We are so happy that you came to Mixer School today to visit us and to be our special guest.
Thank Carrie because she reached out to me a few weeks ago, and I'm so glad that
sir. One more time, sir.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. It's always good for me to get out and to visit and to see people in their element as opposed to just staying in the studio. And, it's, what's the word? Do you hear the sirens down here?
My favorite part of the song.
Yeah, most cities does not have them.
That's true. I mean, it's not a perfect system, but most urban areas, like Lincoln Park and Flat Rock, Allen Park has them. But
Whitehaven has them.
There was a tornado last week up in Holly,
Michigan?
Holly, Michigan. There was a very weak tornado. It didn't do a lot of damage, but there was one last week.
They did not turn on the tornado sirens.
Well, for Holly, I think they did not hit the sirens because there was not a tornado warning. So
Yeah.
it's not a perfect system, actually.
Yeah.
It's not a perfect system.
There's a place to activate the sirens.
Yes, so when the National Weather Service will issue a tornado warning, then individual counties will press the button. So the emergency manager's office in Wayne County or in Washington, they'll press the button.
Yeah. Is there a National Weather Service here?
There is. Where it's here is in White Lake Township, up near Pontiac Airport. So they have.
Pontiac Airport's right next to Detroit, right?
It's about 30 miles away as the crow flies from Detroit to Pontiac. But where the Weather Service office is up near Pontiac Airport. Yeah, they have the big radar. It's really quite something.
Pontiac Airport.
Pontiac Airport. I think about that actually. When I'm doing weather, I'm thinking about how I'm going to say what I need to say so people at home can get it in a nice, easy way. I don't want to make it complicated. I don't want to make it like a riddle. I just want to give them the forecast, and then they'll know how to dress accordingly or make their plans for the weekend. That's a very good question, actually. An eye-opening experience. It matured me. It made me grow up in a lot of ways. I went from college right into the Air Force active duty life, and all of a sudden I had a lot of responsibility. And the thing I do remember about my service is I worked with some of the finest people I've ever known. These were terrific men and women who served their country, Air Force, Army, there were some Navy, a couple of Marines along the way. So I still remember how these people have affected my life, even to this day. That's a very good question. Know their way in life, and I'm very proud of my daughters.
Cool.
I have always wanted to do a tour of the news station. How do we get information about doing a tour of the studio?
That's a very good question. We do have visitors at our TV station. We do. In fact, I have two people coming tomorrow. A veteran that I interviewed a few years ago, he and his wife are coming. That's something we can arrange on a individual basis. So we'll deal with that in the future, but it is possible. It is possible.
Cool.
Oh, yes.
And then number 9, or is it? Yep, number 9.
Yes, today.
Thank you for having me. I mean it.
being here today, and thank you for working so hard at the news station to keep us informed.
Thanks for having me, and it's a pleasure. I take pride in my work, and I think it shows, as do all of my coworkers at Fox 2. I work with some very smart and very creative people, and I'm lucky to work at Fox 2.
We are in the month of November, which is close to Thanksgiving. What is something that you are most thankful for?
That's a great question. I'm thankful for. That's a wonderful question. Well, I'll throw you a little curveball. I'm thankful for some of the doctors I have, and I'll tell you why. Because I'm diabetic. I've been diabetic for 12 years, and so I shoot insulin every day, and I take care of myself as best I can. But diabetes is a challenge. It is for every diabetic, not just for me, but my daughter is also diabetic. So I'm very thankful that I have good doctors, and I see them 2 times a year, and they keep me healthy.
How's the weather?
That's a great question. You know, I encourage young people and old people to pursue their passion. You know, if people have a passion for fixing cars, then I encourage them to fix cars. If they have a passion for reading, like I do, then read. Some people love the weather, so I encourage them to read all about the weather, whether it's hurricanes or tornadoes or satellites or radar systems. There's a lot of information out there for those who have a passion about a given subject. So not just weather, but really anything for people that have a passion. They should follow that passion.
I also know that you are an advocate and the supporter of the American Diabetes Association. Can you talk about what that means and the work that you do to support that group?
That's a very good question. So, being diabetic, I think I have an understanding of what diabetics go through. You know, there are great organizations, for example, organizations that support those with cancer, those with it goes on and on. My neighbor has a degenerative eye disease.